Okay, let's recap on the opportunity and what I've presented so far. Now, the process for trading and investing successfully is relatively straightforward, and it's stood the test of time in the hands of investors who know what they're doing. Sure, there are risks, but doesn't it make sense to act when those risks are relatively lower than normal, as they are now? The key is to consistently apply a formula that makes commercial business sense and companies that reward shareholders. Everyone loves a bargain at the local department store, but somehow finds a reason not to when it comes to the share market. I find that really strange. Just about everyone on the planet does things which are in their own best interests, and the formula I use fits perfectly with that motivation of seeking rising dividends, rising profits, and rising share prices. Now, we buy businesses that are expanding strongly, not just any old stock that comes to our attention, and there's a huge difference between those two activities. We buy them when they're below fair value, preferably well below fair value. That's getting very difficult to do in Australia, but there are still great opportunities globally. Next, we buy them after profit taking has occurred. No point in buying just after a big rise in price because the odds are the price is going to come back. Now, this is a pretty straightforward process and it helps to minimise the risks and enhance the gains. Now, whilst this process is simple and straightforward enough, it does require a great deal of ongoing research. It requires being personally very well organised and diligent in the application of the process. And most people just are not in a position to do justice to those things, and they lack the time, the knowledge or the inclination to do it as it needs to be done. So therefore, my very strong recommendation is for you to find a mentor that can help you with this. I mean, why not? We use specialists for many other things in our lives. Why not tap into the expertise of someone for just about the most important task we have to take care of, and that's our financial well-being. Now, during the series, I looked at the major trends unfolding overseas in 5 distinct areas, and I presented some specific examples. Now, Trinity Industries has been raising their profits by 56% per annum, averaged over the last 5 years. I went through this example. And given their niche in the rapidly expanding shale oil and gas sector, I see no reason why this pace of growth will change very much in the next 3 years. And yet we can buy this outstanding company for a mere 11 times earnings. That is very cheap, and it's a situation that's very difficult to find in Australia. Now, these are the best opportunities which I've seen in my nearly 30 years in the market, because a number of factors have all come together at once, as I've been outlining through this series. Now, this is a really important point. The big gains occur early in bull markets. Those who procrastinate may end up with some smaller profits if they get in towards the end, but they also do so when the risks are far, far higher. It just makes sense to act decisively when the rewards are potentially the greatest and the risks are generally much smaller, as long as one has done their homework thoroughly. Now, allow me to reinforce that nothing in trading is risk-free, but there are times to act and there are times to sit back. This is absolutely a time to act. Now, let me give you another great example from the biopharmaceutical sector. A company called Gilead Sciences, which is a $140 billion market cap company. So they're a major player. Now, they have a great track record of financial performance, and forecasts are for earnings to grow at around about 40% per annum over the next 3 years. Yet it still only trades on a lowly 12 times earnings. The recent quarterly report easily beat analyst expectations, and here's the price chart over the last couple of years. It's quite amazing, the trend upwards, as you can see. Now, this price chart is showing you from October 2012 onwards, so it's just a little under 2 years. And you can see it's been a rapid increase and really taken off recently. And despite that huge rise, it's still very, very good value. So why wait? It's really easy to start. Now, don't be put off if you've never invested outside Australia. The characteristics of a great and expanding business are the same no matter where they do business. It just takes some thorough research to uncover the opportunities. The risks of investing in these global stocks is lower in Australia right now because of the relative value situation that I've been describing. But that may not last forever. So the longer you leave it, well, you know what I mean. It's not likely to get any better than it is right now. Now, some people I've spoken to also worry about currency risk. Now, my approach to this is that the potential stock gains over time are likely to swamp any shifts in currency, so I just ignore it. However, the one thing you don't want to do is to invest money overseas when the Aussie dollar is low. So that's another reason to get on with it now while the Australian dollar is still relatively high and there's a lot of people trying to force it down. Now, there are several different brokerage options in Australia for opening a US account. And again, at the moment, they are generally cheaper than most local brokerages. Now, there are some local brokerages that are very expensive, but there are some that are cheaper. So again, that situation may not always be the same. So again, my message is the same. Get on with it. Now finally, if you're the sort of person who just feels a bit overwhelmed by the thought of trading overseas, then that's understandable. We all have busy lives. So I now have the facility to do trading and investing on your behalf. Your account is fully visible to you at all times, but I take care of all the buying and the selling. So what's your next step? I strongly urge that you act now. This is about significantly improving your trading by using principles that are proven to work. Now you have a choice. The first choice is that you get yourself a mentor. The person you choose to work with needs to be very good at what they do. They need to be passionate about trading and investing successfully, and they need a track record. And I can tell you that I've got a good track record, and what I do is absolutely my passion. Now the second choice that you've got is that I can do it for you if you prefer. You get all the benefit of my experience and passion for trading for a living. This is what I love, and it's what I'm good at. Now my final message is that you can do much better than you're probably doing now. We may never see this combination of factors all coming together at once again. I firmly believe over the next few years we'll see continued outstanding opportunities, and I would love to help you access them. So why not contact me to discuss the pathway that's best for you? Thanks for listening. Cheers.